It's been a long 5 days, hasn't it? Well, with your requests, we've made it all the way through Darth Vader and the Ghost Prison. I'll upload and edit all 5 videos into one long one for your viewing convenience as well, so it'll be like one long Vader movie. Today we arrive at the 5th and final issue of our story. For those who have no clue what I'm talking about, welcome, you might be new.
Join us or die.
So continuing from yesterday's video on issue 4, here's the final issue, issue 5. As Vader and his crew use Captain Volta's hyperdrive calculations for the best jump points, they continue their research on where to join Tarkin. They understood the fatality of the crew on board and whatever they would hit if they were just one calculation off. As we see the entire graduating class of the Imperial Academy, Tarkin's shuttle begins to land in the hangar. As his ship lowers, Gentis tells his last son that the Terror will be over soon. That when Palpatine killed his other brothers through the many wars, he vowed to put an end to that, and with Tarkin about to be slain, that promise would be fulfilled. As Tarkin walks out of his shuttle, he mocks Gentis by asking him why he has children there to greet him, ordering him to gather all his soldiers, all while Vader and the rest found a ripple in the space lanes, cutting across them and now waiting for the right moment to appear. As Tarkin is held hostage with his clone troopers, he barks at Gentis, finally understanding who is behind the attack. As Gentis runs his same line again, telling him how he's saving the Empire because Sidious was evil and crazy, how his sons died because of him, where Tarkin coldly but epically responds, maybe they'd have survived if they were better trained, and that he'll see them again, soon. With a sudden loud blast and a flash of lights, Vader and his men crashed the scene. His lightsaber ignited deflecting bolts while the rest walked out, guns blazing. They had finally arrived to save Tarkin, kill Gentis and his men, and fight for the Empire. As Vader's men were outnumbered 8-1, there were a few things Gentis' army didn't have, and that was a Sith Lord in his ranks, or a bitter exiled Jedi. He lacked expendable soldiers and unpredictable warriors, although he did have well-trained men and even explosive experts, but he didn't have sharpshooters or cyborgs with on-board targeting computers. What he didn't have were war heroes. As Tolm called for Gentis' son, he turned his blaster to his side and fired round after round of blasts into the cadet, dropping him to the floor. As Gentis runs to his dead son, holding him and crying hysterically, thinking his pain couldn't grow anymore, his world began to shrink before him. During this sorrow and despair, he was hit with a paralyzing fire that bore so deep into his bones he could feel the molecular structure of his cells incinerating to char. As he howled in pain, thinking the death of his final son was the worst pain in the galaxy, he finally understood the last thing he did not possess.
Your reign is over, Headmaster.
As Gentis laid on the floor motionless and burnt to an unrecognizable crisp, Tolm looked at him in fear of just how powerful the Emperor was. Now, I'm gonna once again sidestep and say that in the comics and legends, Palpatine's Force lightning was ridiculous. At his full power, he could destroy worlds, let alone fry someone to oblivion. I'll make a power series that focuses on characters' most insane abilities and break down just how strong they really were. As the rest of the betrayers are gunned down and left there to be made an example of, Palpatine promotes Tracta to Grand Moff and replaces Gentis as headmaster of the Imperial Academy. Tracta wanted to enlist and train the convicts. Vader wanted them dead, so Tolm proposed to meet in the middle and send them away on a new ship to exile, away from the Empire. As Anakin's prisoners flew away, Tracta is relieved that they are at least alive, noting it as the honorable thing. With a massive explosion in the sky, and to Tracta's surprise, the shuttle explodes, killing all those on board. As he blames Tolm and walks away, Vader tells him he has done well. While Sidious speaks to Vader about reviewing Tolm's life, we see Volta is alive and well in Tolm's apartment. It seems there's a romantic relationship between the two, as Sidious mentions how the boy is ruthless and would make a worthy successor should Vader ever fail. He orders his apprentice to keep training him for when the time comes. Well, we all know Vader, and he can't have a successor, ever. So he orders Tolm out to his balcony on Coruscant and tells him he has just one last lesson for him. With great obedience, Tolm exclaims that his mentorship means more to him than anything. Vader grabs him with his arm, using his cybernetics to lift the body with ease over the rails. He tells him,
Never suffer rivals.
And throws Tolm to the streets of Coruscant below as his screams bounce off the building walls until nothing more can be heard. Well, we have to hand it to Vader. He truly is the most cold and ruthless villain in the galaxy. He just simply does not care for anyone after he lost Padme, and his life, at least, until he meets his son.
You were right about me.
I hope you enjoyed these last 5 days covering this issue. I wasn't going to keep going, but you guys clearly enjoyed them so much, so I'm going to have to cover way more of the comics for you now, if you want. There's literally thousands that were made, and they're all really cool to cover. There's one in particular that I like, and it's all about Qui-Gon Jinn, before he even met Obi-Wan. I can cover that one if you guys want, or many of the other Vader comics. Just let me know in the comments below, or by hitting like. Thank you so much for all of your support, guys. I really appreciate it. Tomorrow we'll resume back to the original videos. I'll give you a little breather from comic lore. I'll also get all the videos from this comic into one long one so you can enjoy it without any pauses and breaks. I hope you're having a great day or night, and I'll see you all in tomorrow's episode of Star Wars Theory. Until we meet again, remember,
The Force will be with you always.